Right. At first, we're talking about disruptive thinking before we start talking about disruptive doing. So liberating your mind to the possibilities, which costs absolutely nothing to change the way you think, irrigating your consciousness by being exposed to people who are thinking on the level you're going, so that you can learn the language of your next and not the language of your now.
Now, okay.
We have unused talent that can never be used in the smaller place, that it's designed to be used in the larger place. But it is terrifying and it's intimidating to be in a room where you're not sure what is the right thing to wear and the right thing to say, and you're a little bit off put by it. That's, if you can get comfortable with being uncomfortable, you can continue living all of your life.
Right, yeah.
All of your life.
Yeah.
Now, I was just gonna ask the question, like, who told y'all that being uncomfortable was a bad thing?
Your feelings?
Like, I mean, when you really think about it, who told you that being uncomfortable is a bad thing? Like, everything that I do, I look for the uncomfortable in it, because I understand that being uncomfortable is the only place where growth takes place. You think the caterpillar is comfortable when he's transforming into a butterfly? I mean, just think about it. Anything, when I'm working out, the only time that you get progress in your body is when you are uncomfortable, when your body hurts, when your muscles are sore. The reason why is because there's a pruning that's taking place. There's a tear down. Literally, when you work out, you're tearing your muscles. What you're doing, you're tearing them so that they can grow, they can expand, they can get tighter. But a lot of you all think that being comfortable, that's the goal in life for a lot of people. I'm just trying to be comfortable. I'm trying to be uncomfortable. Because I understand when I'm uncomfortable in my marriage, then that's only the point where me and my spouse, now we got some things to work out. When I'm uncomfortable in the gym, that means that there's something taking place in my body, right? Stretching, man, stretching. I didn't even realize how stretching is.
Bro, that's a whole nother side.
Oh, bro, like stretching is uncomfortable. I mean, just, it's uncomfortable, but what's happening is necessary so that all your ligaments and everything is, it's getting stretched. It's getting, stretched so that you can be flexible. So stop looking, like literally change your whole mindset. Stop trying to become comfortable in things. Building a skyscraper is the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever been through. Sitting in this meeting in these rooms and they using all of this wordage and I've never heard of, and I'm sitting here, man, and even when we was with the lenders and we talking money, I never talked $61 million. That's a whole nother conversation when you're talking about money like that. It's uncomfortable, but just think about the result of it. So you guys got to start looking at, if you're uncomfortable with the act, then at least be comfortable with the vision. At least be comfortable with the vision, because if you're uncomfortable with the act of what you're doing, if you're uncomfortable working out all the time, be comfortable with the vision of how you're going to look once you realize your goal. If you're uncomfortable with starting a business, then at least be comfortable with the vision of what this business is going to do for you and your family once you realize it. So be comfortable with the vision, the end goal in mind. That's what you're supposed to be comfortable with. But the process is going to be uncomfortable. So get used to being uncomfortable, because that's the goal. That's the gift. That's what you want to do, because that's when something is going to move in your life. The needle is never going to move with you just sitting there being comfortable.
Can I say this too?
Absolutely, absolutely. And all of us have feelings. We just don't have them driving the car. Okay? So if you allow your feelings to drive, you're always going to wreck, because your feelings are going to always change. They're going to bob and weave. Your feelings change from moment to moment to moment. And so we don't want to become so engrossed in how we feel that we don't get anything done. Instead of asking myself how I feel in the morning, I ask myself, what do I have to do?
What life you want.
Yes, as long as you don't think that life is going to be totally blissful. There will be seasons, no matter what you have. There will be seasons of bleakness and coldness and blight, and they are meant so that you have a reprieve from spring and productivity. You can't produce fruit 24/7, 365 days a year that will deplete the ground and destroy you. So just because the weather changes doesn't mean the season's bad.
Yeah.
It's just a recycling of life. You got to keep living.
You got to atrophy.
Absolutely, it paralyzes you. And you don't get to that never good enough by yourself. Somebody ushered you into that feeling. okay? And if words brought you into it, words can bring you out of it, okay? So my advice to you is to surround yourself with people that are affirming, okay? That are encouraging, that are uplifting, that are motivating, not liars, not cheerleaders, but people who are feeding you and not just needing you, okay? Yeah, and if you get around them, if words brought it to you, words will take it away.
That's a great point.
You didn't come to the point of not feeling good enough by yourself. Somebody said something, somebody did something, somebody criticized you and left the dust of their remarks to linger on the furniture of your life. Well, you know, just because you graduated, don't burn down the school. That's my advice to you. You will spend the rest of your life learning. And if you are going to be a lifetime learner, you have to be a lifetime listener. And just because you have a diploma or a degree, don't stop learning. And don't write the script too soon. Just because you got out of school or you have a degree in something doesn't mean that that's where you're going to end up spending the rest of your life. Where you start from is never where you end up at.
Right.
So let's keep the liquidity of thought and the nimbleness of mind to be elastic, to be translucent, to have the ability to adapt to changing times, especially now.
Right.
Because artificial intelligence, technology is changing the ground up under our feet. Yeah. And we gotta, that's the time you need your faith the most. When all around you shakes and quicksand surrounds you, you look for something that is solid and stable and not based on your conditions, but based on your position. And to be positionally grounded helps you to withstand the vicissitudes of life. And so that should not be a moment to negate your faith. That should be a moment that you cleave to your faith because it's stable.
Yeah.
I wanted disruptive people who never color inside the lines, who always go, in the words of their friends, too far, who are extra, who have 5 different visions that don't seem to be connected, to know you're not crazy, to know it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to color outside of the lines. When you hand a child a coloring book where the lines are already there and they color outside of the lines, it's not because they're bad. It may be that they're an architect. The next time, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next time, hand them a blank sheet of paper and let them draw their own lines. Oh, okay, so I talk about parenting disruptive children. I talk about being married to somebody that's disruptive and how to compliment them and not compete with them. Because sometimes it gets to be a race to see who can go the furthest. Somebody's got to be stable while the other one's crazy. You know, okay? And so it's a very important thing for us to notice that disruption is not the same as destruction. Okay? So you can't have a new life until you're willing to disrupt your old life. You can't have a new thought until you're willing to disrupt your old thoughts. And that it's okay to disrupt your old thoughts to make room